Hi, Kevin Wright again, and back with another weekly property finance tip. So, what's it about this week? How to know how long to take a bridging loan for. What term should you take out a bridging loan for? Because I see a lot of people getting this wrong. So if you want to know the answer to this, keep watching. So you've got to the point where you're ready to take a bridging loan out. But the question is, what term should you take? Should you take it for 6 months or 9 months or 12 months even? So how do you determine the term? And this is really, really important because it can cost you a lot of money if you get this wrong. So let's look at a couple of aspects of that to understand why people do this. Because here's what I see, that a lot of people that are inexperienced with bridging tend to underestimate the term, and they are not able to pay it back when the term expires, and that hits them with extra costs, which I'll explain in a minute. How do you work out the term that you should take a bridging loan over? Okay, so it's very simple that you actually work out how long it's going to take you to do whatever it is you're going to do to the property, which is usually a refurb, but it could be a title split or get planning or something like that. And then how long it's going to take you to execute your strategy. And then how long it's going to take you to either sell or refinance. Let's drill down in a bit more detail to that. If you're going to buy it and you've got no planning issues or building regs issues, you can just go straight on and do your refurb. Then you say, well, how long should it take me to do this refurb? Now, always builds us some contingency in there for the plumber going missing for a couple of weeks or something like that. So give yourself some time frame on that. And you might say, I don't know, 8 weeks, but let's make it 10. And then if you're going to refinance it, well, there's a question of, do you wait for 6 months or do you go straight for it? And that's dealt with on another video. But assuming you want to refinance, then you need to allow time for a mortgage lender to process the application. And again, you never know quite how busy they're going to be and how stacked up their underwriting department is, so you need to allow some contingency on that. So you probably want to allow 3 months on that as well. So, you know, if you can just go and do a straight refurb and you're going to refinance, then 6 months is probably okay, unless you want to wait for a lender that only lends to you once you've had it 6 months, and then of course you'd have to add another 3 months to be safe on top of that, so you take a 9-month bridge in that order. But what if you've got to get planning? Well, you've got to allow 3 months to get planning. Okay, it could be quicker, but again, allowing extra time, so 3 months to get planning, then maybe another 3 months to do the work, and then another 3 months to get the remortgage. But what if you're selling it? Again, how quickly is it got to take you to find a buyer? How long is it going to take them to find a mortgage? And how long is it going to take that mortgage to go to valuation, to offer, until they can actually get out and give you the money? So you might want to allow up to 6 months for that. When you structure it like that, that could help you. And what we see is typically people underestimating how long everything's going to take, and often underestimating how much it's going to cost too, but that's a different issue. So they underestimate how long it's going to take to be in a position to repay the bridging loan. Now, if you're not able to repay them on the due date, the issue becomes you could start getting into additional costs, because they could charge you another setup fee, and they could charge you a higher rate of interest, like a penalty rate of interest. And so sometimes that can be quite punitive. So you really want to avoid, if at all possible, overrunning on a bridging loan. Now, you might say, well, I could play safe and take it out for 12 months. But what if I'm able to repay it early? Then I've just cost myself a lot of interest. No, you haven't. And here's a very important thing about bridging, and that is that any reputable bridging lender is going to rebate back to you any unused months of interest. So really, you only pay for the months you use. Therefore, if you took out a 12-month bridging loan, but you were able to repay it in month 7, then month 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, you wouldn't pay that interest. So it makes an awful lot of sense to go long, because if you go long, you don't have to pay the extra interest. But if you go short and you miscalculate it and you overrun it, then you could be into paying penalties. So our advice is always, when we're brokering these type of deals, is to go long. Go long, longer than you think you're going to need, with plenty of contingency in there. And if you repay it early, fantastic. Then you've got a rebate. And that is a sensible precaution in the way that we would go around arranging bridging. So there we are. Now, if you enjoyed this video, there's a couple more of my videos coming up right at the end of this. So hang around and watch those. Hey, and click that subscribe button if you haven't done it already. I'll see you with another tip next week.